Why, hello, everybody. Oh man, my throat's gonna probably be bugging me, so yeah, I'm pretty much am not surprised I didn't even have a lozenge up here. So, yeah, that's probably out there soon. That's probably out since I might have to probably be using it so I can keep clear my throat. But unfortunately, it's just pretty much not gonna happen. So, anyways, everybody, today's video, not reaction, but I'm gonna say is like, well, I did want to say before we even actually do start this video, and actually will say for like momentarily and just talk about is like, the video I actually did want to be mentioning is that, well, the one that we did talk about was pretty much like, oh, before I even did got back to Boise, as I did say before I was back from Boise and Idaho, is that, well, I actually do want to make something just to let everybody else know and fully understand is that, well, yeah, Boise was a pretty good state, not gonna lie. I mean, I've always liked pretty much going to Idaho and stuff. I mean, especially some stuff that has like the good stuff, like the fair stuff that is all red. But the only thing I'd be fair enough to be pointing out the obvious and point some stuff out is just to say is that, well, yeah, I'd say that I'm just talking about like how fun it was. Like I got to spend like a few nights in a hotel while I was there, like watching pretty much like Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, but I still didn't get to watch Chucky or Pennywise on the TV, which that fully did suck, which I know it did suck otherwise, but yeah, it pretty much did. It really considered pretty much did, which that's pretty much what I would say anyway, but I was just kind of hanging out in the hotel. I think I was in hotel room number 4. I think I was on room number 4, especially when I had all pretty much like a king size bed, which I was like, hell to the yes. Then I was like, hell to the yes, because I felt like I was a king. Like, trust me, it made me feel like I was a king. A very king. Like, I mean, when I actually feel like a king, I feel like pretty much being an awesomer dude. Being an awesomer dude. Which I know that isn't a word, but still. All I'm saying is that exactly, is that I at least enjoyed some good stuff that was pretty much in Idaho. And oh, the only craziest shit that went on by anyway while I was in Texas Roadhouse, which I was kind of preferring to go to Applebee's instead, but nope, it pretty much was Texas Roadhouse, which I have nothing against that, but I only am saying is that, well, I kind of preferred more of going to Honeybees, which that's fine, but all I'm saying is like, what even really happened, pretty much what was going on exactly between the Chicago Bears and then, of course, was going on with Chicago Bears and then, of course, was just the Commanders. I was like, damn. I was saying, literally, damn. That was like so many backwards. I'm like so surprised out of my seat whenever I watched the game of pretty much like NFL at the moment. I was watching pretty much like Chicago Bears versus Chargers. I mean, not Chargers. I'm saying Commanders. Commanders. Yeah. So Bears and Commanders. Yeah. I was watching that football game. When I was watching that football game, I'm like, no freaking hell. I'm like, no freaking hell. A freaking way. The Bears got their asses beat so freaking bad. I'm like, seriously, what in the actual frick? Like, I was surprised. Like, don't get me wrong, I was actually surprised by seeing that went down after when the Chicago Bears was trying their at least their best to keep on making more touchdowns against pretty much Commanders just to keep pushing them away. And I was like, wait, you're here to tell me if the Chicago Bears did lose to them in a flawless win by, well, they even had zero. They literally had zero, which I was freaking surprised. When it was like down to the third or fourth quarter, I was watching the entire thing went down. I'm like, seriously, what the frick just happened? Like, I was surprised. Very honorably surprised. But seeing as like, well, I couldn't even vote for either team because I never wanted to vote for like two of the teams anyways because I'm kind of more into pretty much Seahawks and Texans myself. I mean, trust me, the Texans even got still better when they're still doing actually pretty professional a little bit better. Well, pretty much Texans are doing a very wonderful job, like always. Doing a pretty better job, I could say, fortunately myself, at least for being like the only smart genius that I could ever know to say. But like I said, if Seahawks ever were to lose, which team they would have lose, I kind of would stick with the Texans all the way into the semifinals. I would still stick to those Texans if I even were to stick to that chance by any reason, but yeah, I kind of heard a little bit, a few informations a little bit, which I'm pretty surprised that I kept hearing that Texans was going to like saying like, oh, they're going to kind of win in a little bit of good strategy techniques for a little bit by pushing themselves doing pretty well actually, for going a little bit more up, which I could have still have mentioned that to my vlog channel, but unfortunately I could have gone into that anyways, but that kind of actually stinks. But what I could only mention by any chance is pretty much Oregon Ducks. Now, don't get me wrong about Oregon Ducks, but I kind of kept hearing that too, that the Oregon Ducks are unbeatable. I'm like, no freaking way. Like, how did it get number one? Which I'm so surprised that it's even better than pretty much like the Beavers, for crying out loud. Which, seriously, I just didn't want the Beavers anyway. I actually prefer Ducks because quack, quack, quack. Yeah, just the quack and quack. Now, I did have not mentioned on my top tens for a bit by saying is like, oh, which one's my favorite college football team? Well, the only thing I have to say is I'm kind of sticking with Oregon Ducks. I mean, if I ever do have another opinion by saying is which could be the secondary again, trust me, there's an old saying: whenever somebody loses their very main first, whenever they lose their main first, even if it has to be a character, a TV show, a game, a sport, or anything else, you always gotta think what your secondary is going to be like, other than to be the first. Which, it's fine anyway. It could still be the first, though, but there's always going to have to be a second option. Always. Has to be a second option, even if it's going to have to count. Which, it's true. It's just going to count, okay? It really is just going to count. So, what I'm saying, guys, for the only thing I'm just saying, is that you always gotta have to pretty much have a secondary on pretty much whatever you have. It's just considering a secondary. So, yes, pretty much that. So, again, guys, if you guys have like a secondary character of a favorite, then let me know. And that would be actually pretty awesome to hear from in the comments for to see what's happening there. So, yes, I know, like I said, I did mention a few things for before that I'd say is like, well, how am I going to mention about saying is like, oh, I'm going to talk about the Oregon Ducks by saying is how they're unbeatable. Well, let's just say I'm going to probably be mentioning that on my vlog channel if I ever were to say it. But no, I have not even talked about Oregon Ducks or even a little while to hear from the Ducks, which that's pretty much fine anyways. So yeah, that's all I would have to know. And the only thing I actually would have to say in all of that is just that, well, at least I had a great time in Boise. So much a good time. Because I mean, at least I felt appreciated while I was there in Boise. Which, seriously, it actually was pretty nice. And I still got to pretty much entertain myself while I was in Boise. Even though I had to go through a plane and pretty much just get on there and just probably head there anyways. But all I'm saying though, it's just pretty awesome, like going and traveling sometimes. Just going traveling to other places. That's just all I'm saying. If some of them are safe states, as what I'm talking about and referring to. So, again, all I'm saying is that, yeah, that's just pretty much the case. Which now, actually, I am actually going to get to the point of it now. So I did mention a few things, yada yada yada, which I know some people would want to skip it or not, but that's fine. So here I go. Like, here I go. So the only thing I'm going to talk about is the new truck. So what I'm going to talk about here is I'm going to probably show you guys what it even looks like. So give me a sec. I'm gonna probably just show you guys the two pictures on the truck. So here's what it looks like on the old one. It's probably like a second or a third, which I'm not very specific, but here I'm gonna just show you guys what it even looks like in a pretty much in a full screen. So here's what the full screen even looks like. So here we go. So this, my friends, is the other truck that I've actually been talking about. That this one, yeah, it pretty much is old, an old truck. So even though it had with the coolness by no any chance, it has like the cold and then the warm, which I kind of always liked it, but by any chance. But there's gonna be some agreements to disagreements on any truck that I might actually be willing to say coming from my mouth, which that's all I'm gonna say because that's just all I'm gonna say. Like I'm kind of fine with the warm condition and cool conditions. That I'm fine with that in the trucks. I'll be appreciated. But I mean, it's pretty stupid a little bit by having some people by saying it's like, oh, we're just gonna have to pretty much take the cold out of the truck. And then maybe just seems like if anybody's feeling free to be warm in there, while having a little bit of a nice warm while sitting on a seat. Which I actually am just saying is that it kind of was a stupid choice, but having the idea by saying it's like, oh, we're gonna have to take out the cold condition out of the truck and then maybe decide to have a warm condition in the truck. Because I mean, I'm not always familiar with cars or trucks because I don't even am not even an engineer. Because trust me, I'm not any one of those things. Because I mean, I'd rather be an entertainer, a voice impression, or a voice impressionist, or whatever. Because I just do it for fun. Basically, literally just for fun, by just doing voice acting. That's just it. But what I'm just saying is that all I'm actually preferring to say is that, well, it's just kind of stupid. It's actually just kind of stupid. Which, I mean, if people do agree to say what I actually have to say about it, then yes, I actually just feel agree about it. Just literally, yes. And then I have to say that I've always liked the cold conditions. I've always liked the cold conditions because I've always liked it because it just kind of cools my body off whenever I have pretty much like just like massive body sweat. Because I mean, trust me, when I have body sweat, mine is big. Trust me, it's sweatier than a huge sweaty. Like the big sweaty of the big sweaties of all time. Which I'm not joking, I'm just kind of actually a bit joking on like a 70% joking, but 100% I'm just really not. So what I'm just saying is that, oh, I've always liked that cold conditions. I've always liked it. But what I'm saying is that there could have been a good reason by having that idea. It was just that reason of that idea. And then here's another one, especially that I've been trying to get perfect angling shots from different angles. But you know me, I've been trying to get some good angling shots in all times, though. Just try to make some good angling ones. Which, yeah, you know me, man. I've always been trying to make some angling shots most of the time, but not always. But just sometimes I'm making perfect angle shots. It's just angling stuff. So yeah. Anyway, that's just all I kind of actually wanted to talk about, and yeah, actually, the red Ram truck is pretty cool. It very is cool because I want to talk about and just say it's like, oh, how okay was the Ram truck? Well, let me tell you. I mean, the Ram truck, the red one I'm referring to, is sick. It really is awesome. Just with the full thumbs up. But what I'm actually just saying is that there was like only like a few suggestions that, well, at least it's called something new. That's actually new for once. It kind of looked brown inside. It had like all Texas theme, like cowboyish style in there because like in the front of the seat, I'm like, yeah, that's actually pretty awesome, pretty sick. And it was actually called the Longhorn 8 Edition. Like, that's so cool. Like, it's pretty cool, man. I actually am agreeing to say that is actually pretty cool. Like, it really is pretty cool. Which, I might be guessing from time and time again, just, making actual guesses, just not actually missing, like, misdirected ones, which that's what I'm not doing. but I'm actually just getting some corrected ones for a bit. Well, guessing, just for some times of guessing, because I mean, hey, a guess is a guess, because you can't outguess a guesser for any question to guess. So, yeah, saying it, I am the guesser, because, oh, I could say this, because I am a scary movie. It's literally funny. I could really be just saying it by now, which, again, I don't have all the time to say it by any chance now because it'll be wasting the time on the clock. So, again, I'll say this is that, well, yeah, I'm going to say is like goodbye to the other truck that was pretty much gray, and then saying hello to the new style of the favorite color, my favorite color, red. The red Ram truck. Yeah, the red Ram truck. Which I kind of like naming it now actually by calling it the red Ram truck. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It actually kind of does make sense by whenever I like calling it that name. This is calling like the red Ram truck. It's pretty awesome. The legit perfect awesomeness. And then the only question here to be looking for the next question is, of course, is that, well, the very next question I might actually be asking and say is that, well, the only thing I'm going to say about is that, well, yeah, I'd say, what do I kind of give this from 1 out of 10 of pretty much Boise? Well, I give this freaking 10. Sincerely, 10 out of 10. Because, I mean, there were, like, no problems in Boise for that time. Because, I mean, hey, I mean, if I like going to Idaho, then hell yeah, man. All the way in Idaho. Just hell yeah. I just says, hell freaking yes. Always and always. And before you could say anything else again for the next question, is that, well, question one, actually, is from what I'm saying for this question, is that, well, question one, um, that one's gonna be a good one, since I might have to be thinking of something else, which, that's just all I kind of talked about recently for the whole minute of this, just for me talking about, like, oh, the red Ram truck. The only question is about the new trailer. Well, it has never showed up because, one, that there's going to be a bit of a different option on that question because it's going to be like the very second one at least. I mean, the first one's going to probably go anyway since, like, it's going to kind of getting old at the point of it anyways because, one, I actually just say goodbye to the old trailer. If it actually ever gets a new one, I'm glad to hear it. But the only problem I actually be happy to hear from is just like saying is like, oh, I'm gonna like the new style of the new trailer, which again I've not really fully talked about that either. So pretty much, I mean, the trailer thing I've never talked about, just never talked about it because again, it just never even got a new one. The only thing I've been talking about the whole time was just about the truck, not trailer, just truck. So anyway, all I gotta say here, guys, is that, well, I'm happy to hear the Texans are finally stepping up for once, just finally stepping up some W's, a few W wins for so many times, a few W's. But for the Seahawks, I'm kind of okay for Seahawks doing okay. Well, they even have 4 wins, but a little bit of 5 losses is not good. So I just really want Seahawks to get their asses back up there, just getting their W's again for winning so many times as smackers. Because, I mean, if Seahawks do wins in a good way, just to win more, they better hopefully be in the damn playoffs. Because I want to see that happening. And as for the Texans, well, I'm not going to be the only one who's going to be mad on Texans for currently of time to time, but yeah, I just really am kind of a little pissed with Seahawks for losing. Because, I mean, come on, Seahawks. Aren't you guys supposed to try to win sometimes? Aren't you guys supposed to try to win? Which, at this point, I've always been a Seahawks fan, but, that opinion could change in a good way, in a different standard way. Like, oh, trust me, I could be on Seahawks and Texans at the same teams, at the same time. Because, oh, I mean, I've already made my predictions of top 5 and 10. Trust me, I've already did that. Even hell, it's on my vlog channel too, for Pete's sakes. Like, it's already there as well. And then, as in from, like, the basketball teams, oh, trust me, same deal, same deal, but different. So yeah, again, sometimes if first mains don't work, then I'm switching it to seconds, which that's fine anyways. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's all I gotta say. And as in for like another thing exactly is that, well, you guys might probably be seeing like a few reaction videos, like maybe like two reactions showing up like the time and time again for two reaction videos. Yeah, you guys might probably be seeing that anyways. But the only thing I actually want to be talking about before I actually do get off exactly is that, yeah, you guys might probably be seeing two premiere videos for two reaction videos. Because why? Well, I'm gonna probably be gone for the next so minute, so whatever exactly. Because I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying that I'm gonna be heading somewhere that I'm just gonna be probably going to. Well, I'm just gonna probably be spending a few nights pretty much just around Colombia or exactly, but yeah, like I said, I'm not going to hunt because I don't hurt animals because I never intend hurting animals. Because, seriously, if I ever do hurt animals, that actually proves that I would be a monster if I did that. Which I'd still say no. I never will, and I just seriously never will. I mean, if I say food names, it's a better way to say it. Because, I mean, if people do say talking about animal names, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna put a stop to that. I'm saying hell freaking no. We're not doing this. We are really not going through this again. I seriously am not, because I just don't joke around with that idea. I just really don't joke around because seriously, that's sincerely Darwinism, if that's pretty much the point. Which again, I don't even really actually perform saying any else to say any higher language and it has to go on for. But all I'm saying is I would rather say food names, not animal names, because it's offensive to animals. Literally offensive to animals. Because I mean, it's not like I'm defending animals or not, but all I'm saying is I'm in a center vote. Center. But I mean, I can stay at center and then still defend animals at the point time being of saying it. So, again, I am a meat eater, which means I prefer eating meat. That's all I'm saying. I'm no vegetarian because I never like eating vegetables. Even hell, I still have always been keeping that promise for years. Always have kept that promise. So, again, thank you everybody for currently the time to just pretty much enjoy this video while you guys still enjoy it. So just remember guys, I'm probably am not gonna probably be making videos for a while, so you guys probably might be getting two reaction videos. That's gonna probably be happening whenever I do ever get back. That's when you guys might see two premiere videos showing up. It's only gonna be two reaction videos. And then I'll save up a few more before I even talk about Sub-Zero's game for now, which I might be mentioning it some other times, but not as too much to go for it. So, anyway, that's all I want to talk about, and that's all I just want to get out through my chest and get that through out of my time to be mentioning stuff. So, thank you guys for understanding, and most likely the possibility understanding. So, anyways, thank you everybody. I'll get to see you guys again next time. So, yeah, pretty much. And then the reason why I didn't get to film pretty much from outside is because one quick fact and a little bit of a follow up is that one reason why I couldn't have not filmed outside was because the reason why I couldn't film it was because, oh, it's going to probably be involving mosquitoes outside, or it's going to probably be involving pretty much like baby ones, like baby mosquitoes. Like, oh, trust me, it's annoying as hell. It really is, which I really am saying it's disgraceful, which it is. The only thing why I find that disgraceful is because one, I couldn't find the time or proper timing whenever I was trying to like, oh, get a perfect screenshot from outside, which, oh, my pardon, it was too dark outside. That's pretty much my point. And then the only point, again, from pretty much inside the garage, which I could have basically would have filmed in there, and just probably would have done it anyway. Like, oh, I probably have remembered a long time ago before it, which I've already did, but times like this right now is going to be a little bit predictable at times, but not as much, but sometimes, just a little bit. And then, as in for pretty much showing the new truck, which again, it's pointedly about me talking for some quite a time, but all I'm saying is that, yeah, could have not really shown it because the reason why it couldn't have been shown was because it was going to be a little bit of a hard time to film while I was going to, like, literally do anything just to film whatever because I just needed to practice or do whatever with camera holding, which, oh, trust me, I've holding the camera for years. I've always had with my current laptop. Always. Many times and always have been a master of doing it for so many times that it actually gets better. You know, if it actually did ever get better, it would only be me holding the camera from this left or right. It depends if I carry it properly, pretty professional, very better. Which, you know, still makes me a cameraman, which pretty much won't make me as a cameraman, but I actually at least do have good camera angling skills for me holding the camera without actually kind of complaining, but I might actually complain. Well, it's like the pausing of the video at the directed time where it's paused, or not so much to be paused, which I actually always get a little bit of time thinking ahead just to think a bit faster or a little bit to deal with this stuff. So, yeah, that's all I just ever want to get to pretty much talk about and just say what comes to mind. So, yeah, thank you everybody for watching. And this was kind of like a 28-minute video to 30 minutes of me going on to explain about, like, got the new truck, pretty much enjoyed myself in Boise for a while, which I did mention it before it was Halloween, which directly I got back from Halloween though. But like I said, I am not probably going to be mentioning the bad ones until I even actually got freaking back, which some people in my group channel Discord could have been pretty much been nicer, which again, I'm not gonna mention it anyways because it'll spend me a too much little time to brag about. So that's all I'm asking. It's just that again, not here to brag, but just to hear the talk. That's just it. So thank you everybody for watching. Like as always, is like and comment and subscribe and the bell to be notified so that way you will not miss a single video that comes onto this very first channel. And if you guys actually do want to say it's like, oh yo, you got a good truck. You know, just talking about like the Ram truck, for example, for instance, the red kind. So if anybody actually feels positive to that question in the comments, I'll actually be liking to enjoy it because remember, I want to see good comments, not negative ones. Because I mean, if they're negative ones, oh, again, I might have a choice to either delete the comment or just maybe put a thumb down from it and just attempt to ignore it. So yeah, you know what I'm gonna be still talking about. So thank you again for enjoying this video. With that being said, I'm gonna get going. Well, I pretty much have a banana. Which, I mean, it was a breakfast banana, so don't judge. With that being said, I'll see you guys again next time. So, peace out. I'll see you next time. And whenever I do get back from Colombia, you guys might probably be seeing 2 reaction videos that you might probably be getting anyways. For a surprise, actually, if I ever do return back at this point. So, remember, 2 reaction videos you guys might probably be getting, and then I might decide of having another reaction that depends about me reacting to about like, oh, the 3rd additional talent show, which, oh, I'd be glad to watch that and totally react to that. Even if it's going to be an extra long reaction, I might have to split the parts open anyway, just split the parts up, which I might have to do otherwise because I just don't want that to be like a huge, long thing to go with. I mean, yeah. I mean, the only point that there's 100 of contestants actually in the talent show, if I actually remember correctly, that there's only going to be 1 for 100, which that's all I'm going to probably go for and just probably might say. So yeah, thank you for enjoying this video. I'll see you in the next time. Devin-Foxy Remastered will catch you in the next time and catch you later. And I pretty much didn't have any time to probably be mentioning things like, oh, want to be a part of the new Devin-Foxy team or community, then go on and do that. Which it kind of wasted a little bit of timing for a bit after I'm just going to get off right now, so sorry. Anyways, I might say it again next time, but it probably was a little bit of coming to be a little bit of an end of the video. So thank you guys. And it means me to a lot that I'd say I appreciate it to pretty much enjoy much time to spend my entire time with my videos on most likely my channel, my first one. So again, thank you, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody. See you later, and sign on out. See you later. Devin-Foxy Remastered. We'll see you later. Bye bye, everybody. See you next time.